Hi guys, my name is Nonema Dikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about Gininda, Kwabini, and Mokgola. Before we do that, guys, please make sure you do not forget to like, to share, to comment. And most importantly, please make sure you are subscribed on the channel. Please make sure that you are watching the videos up until the end and you are watching the ads that are coming through. When you are doing that, you will be supporting this channel financially and in numbers. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And then Ukwabini told us also that Gininda said to him, he will go to court and read this statement. And he said, I will never go there to read something I know nothing about. And I never said something that I know nothing about and I never said. So let's break that down quickly, guys, on this video, because wow. So inside a small office, far from the public eyes, far from the truth, one man says he was pushed, cornered, and threatened not to confess, but to perform, to read a statement he insisted he never made, to become a weapon in a narrative he never wrote. This is a chilling account of Kwabini and the officers, he says, tried to script him into the state's version of the Senzo Meyiwa story. Gininda said to me, you will go to court and read this statement. He looks at the officer confused and alarmed, right? And then Ukwabini, I told him I will never go there to read something I know nothing about, something I never said. But the answer Gininda wanted was right. That is not the answer Gininda wanted. So Gininda responded, you will go. You don't know the state. A warning, a threat, a reminder of power. And then Ukwabini said, in response, so I said, even if I do go, I will stand still and say nothing. Then silence filled the room where they were. A line had been drawn, not with bravery, but with desperation. And that's when the threat escalated. That's when the threat escalated. Gininda, I suppose he became cold. Then I will incarcerate you for 5 days. And you still don't say anything. You will be sentenced to 90 days. 5 days? 9 days? 90 days? Days meant not justice, but for breaking a man's will. The weight of the system presses in, because that's what Gininda was doing. He was trying to break him. And something else weird happened. Sergeant Mokgola steps forward with a cup of tea, calm, almost casual. In the middle of threats, hospitality? Really? Uh-oh. Have some tea. That's Mokgola. Tea. Kwabini, sharp-minded person. Sharp-minded person refused Sanalam. I said, I am not interested in your tea. I am leaving. A polite facade hiding cohesion. A warm drink masking a cold agenda. And just like that, then the pressure lifts, because Ukwabini took a stand and was like, it's either I become strong at this moment, even if I'm scared, and own up, or else, I'm still confused with how he gets to be told, who threatens you and then offers hospitality after that? How are those two mixing? The tea story? Anyway, uGwabini was busy preparing for his wedding at the time. Then uGininda noMukgola, collected and controlling as they were, they said, fine, go prepare for the wedding, you will come back. You see, they still, not an instruction, a promise, a reminder that freedom was temporary and the return was inevitable. You will come back. What kind of investigation threatens a man with incarceration to read words he never uttered? What kind of justice system offers tea in the same breath as intimidation? What kind of statement needs force to exist? The cracks in this case are in the case and from lack of evidence. They are from the weight of coercion collapsing under its own contradictions. Gwabini walking out of the office, shaken but still refusing to surrender his voice. That is what got him out of that trouble. He was shaken. It's not that he was not scared. No one wants to go to prison, let alone for something that they did not do. Even the ones that did something, they don't want to be in prison. Do you understand that? In a trial defined by whispers, contradictions, and shifting narratives, Gwabini didn't just refuse a statement. He refused to become another chapter in the fabricated story. He refused. But he did have, okay, maybe he refused to become a book, but he do have some chapters. He did not become a full book. As the Senzo Meyiwa trial continues, testimonies like this pull back the curtain on a prosecutorial machine allegedly driven by fear, pressure, and intimidation. The question now is simple. If the statement was true, why did they need to threaten him to read it? Why was he being threatened to come to court? If everything was proper, it was thoroughly done, the investigation was on point, etc., etc. The threats, where were they going? Where were the threats going if everything was above board? Why was he being threatened? That will never make sense. But I love that uGwabini was like, this statement I never made. Now he comes to court to expose threats, T-traps, 90-day intimidation in prison. Because uGininda was like, read it or rot. He was exposed now. And uGwabini refused the scripted statement. He refused it. Like the evidence of Babu Zungu, I thought it was one of those that stepped inside the darkest corner of the Senzo Meyiwa trial. But now I'm realizing that the room where witnesses say he was pressured, threatened, and pushed to read a statement he never made. Now, it was not only him, uGwabini, it was also his grandfather, Absalom Zungu, and then it was also his cousin, Usbiya. It was also his friend, Undansi. They are telling us the same story. Being threatened with 5 days in jail, then 90 days if you still stay silent. They imitate then Sergeant Mukgola offering tea in the middle of intimidation. That one is very questionable. The bizarre line of that was very bizarre, right? Go prepare for the wedding, you will come back. The refusal that shook the room. I will stand still and say nothing. This isn't just testimony. This is an expose on a system allegedly pushing a script, not the truth. Now, what we were witnessing there with that evidence, Gwabini, is that there was power struggles, there was intimidation unfolding, and the state narrative had to crack live in court because of that. Anyway, what are your thoughts when it comes to this? Please make sure you stay tuned. You watch the Non-M podcast for all the drama and the chronicles of the courtroom of Senzo Meyiwa trial, because wow. I'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye.